Alright, so what we're going to look at next is how to set out a rafter for a roof. Okay, we're going to look at the simple way of marking out the roof, okay, and dividing it, making it a lot easier to understand. Firstly, we need to understand is the width of the building that we're working with. We need to work between the two wall plates on both sides of the building. We also need to know the height of the roof. So there are two things that we need to look at. The width, okay, is called the run, okay, and the height of the roof is called the rise. So we're going to look at the simplistic way of actually formulating that into a rafter. So the cuts we need are the plumb cut and the seat cut. Two simple cuts. To start with, we need the width, and to do that, it's called the run. In this instance, it's 1500 millimetre, between one plate on this one side of the building to the other side of the building. We then divide that by 2, okay, which gives us 750 millimetre. So we now set it out on the board. It's a lot easier then to understand. So if we then take where the upright point is to the wall plate, okay, we know that that is 750 millimetre because it's half of the full width. The height in this instance is 600 millimetre, okay, and that 600 millimetre is what we call a parallel cut line, which is a third of the material used on the building. So if this was the size of the material, we would divide that, okay, 2/3 by 1/3. And that line, okay, is what we call our run line, or rise line. Okay? Now that rise line would sit on the ridge plate, okay, part way down the ridge, and the rest of the 2/3 higher up. So the height would be plus, okay, that 2/3 measurement. Okay? Alright. So the next part that we need to understand, okay, is that 2/3 line, okay, comes from, okay, that 2/3 distance there, which is the 1/3, okay, of the timber thickness. Okay. We now then need to draw a line between that and our 2/3 line at the top. Okay? Drawing that line, okay, and making sure that the thickness of the ridge is taken into account. In this instance it's 10 millimetre, okay, but many ridges may be made of steel or thicker material, so you need to divide the ridge by 2 and to make allowances for the thickness. Okay. From there we need now obviously to mark out, okay, mark out the line, okay, of the timber. Just take that off, that's just to show you where we were with it. Okay? How do we check this? Well, there's a simple check, okay? And the simple check is Pythagoras theorem. And that I'm sure your tutor will explain to you about Pythagoras theorem in a separate lesson. So we can double check that with Pythagoras. So now what we've got, okay, is the ideal situation, okay, to move on to the next stage.